Alright, so we have Anurag Trivedi sir right here. He is the founder of Shan IAS, also working on sustainable development and is also a UPSC educator. Hello sir. So recently there is a booming news as on new education policy. What do you think about it?
So it's a revolution in field of education, and for long, Indian education system has been perceived as a system of rote learners, right?
Correct.
And grammars. So this new policy just takes away the education system from that system of rote learning to a new system where we are breaking all these silos, where we are creating a vibrant system, and also where we are promoting some important values like respect for diversity. We are ensuring that there is no division between streams. We are also ensuring greater freedom to students in choosing their subjects. You know, there was a stigma that if you're a science student, you cannot read social sciences.
Correct.
So all of that has been now broken, and it's a very new, exciting journey. And I think India at 75 and India at the rate 100 years in 2047. So this education policy will be a big
Differentiator, correct. Sir, we all know that earlier there were three streams. There used to be medical, that is science, engineering, and arts. Children only used to just select from these three subjects and then decide their future. But later on, they never used to get into some particular field because they were confused. Medical में आ गए, अब हम आगे कहाँ जाए? So they used to end up in nothing. But जो पहले की classes है, UKG, first, second, third, there are no major changes made. You just have to be very easy with your subjects. Don't you think वो time होता है बच्चों के दिमाग का development होने का? And उस समय इतना ease education में will it not be a curse for the education system and for the student as well?
So I would like to present an alternate perspective.
Okay.
New education policy understands and points out that the best part of a student's life is till he is 6 years of age. Education policy clearly says that when a student is of 6 years of age, his cognitive skills are such that he can easily pick up 18 new languages.
Right.
Please understand, a 6 years old student can learn 18 new languages. And that is why education policy says that we will train our students in multiple languages. Multilingualism is the need of a global world, and multilingualism is the need for a globalized India, and multilingualism is the key theme of national education policy because our education policy understands that kid, when he is in those years, he is, in his best phase of learning. And that is why, apart from multilingualism, NEP also underscores that we will train them in, mathematics, like puzzle solving, Vedic mathematics, abacus and all that. So we are truly elevating the minds of our kids at that time. We are making them a problem solver since that early age. And also, we are not just focusing on maths and science. We are also ensuring that they learn by stories. They learn about their rich ancient culture. They learn about sustainable solutions. Why you are, praying in front of a peepal tree or a banyan tree. Why you are revering the gods. Why you are revering the rivers.
Presenting the reason of doing anything.
Exactly. So now the abstract learning of the East has met with practical learning of the West. And that is the two origins of national education policy that is coming together and forming this brilliant policy now.
Perfect. Also, you because train so many students, so they must also have some ideologies in mind. What do you think about the system? Like, are they scared about it or are they excited to be on this new thrilling journey?
See, so there's a very, very basic saying that people are scared of everything.
Right.
So it is the job of teachers, policymakers, academia, civil society to quash these fears, to tell students about the policy. Yes, there may be some lacunas, there may be some problems in the implementation part, right? And we will work together to rectify that.
But with years, it will get rectified.
Yes.
coming to your answer, there's just one question in my mind which just popped up was, removing cultural chapters from the syllabus. So, for example, Mughals. What do you think on this? Like, is it right of not telling students about how diverse our country was earlier? Because this plays a major role. Like from Taj Mahal to Qutub Minar, everything just comes under this subject, under this topic. So removing this would be like a discard.
So I'll just again I'll give an alternative view.
Okay.
So in Delhi there is a lake called Anantal.
I've heard it.
It was made by Anandpal Tomar. Right? He was a famous ruler.
Yeah. From Tomar Dynasty.
From Tomar Dynasty. But 99% of our students don't know about it. So I'm just saying that is also our culture. I'm just saying that Devrani Gurjar is also our culture. Avanti Bhai Lodhi is our culture. Right? So it's wrong, utterly wrong to discard anybody from this diverse history. But we have to appropriate the history, quantify it in terms of the years. So Indian history is like 10,000 years.
Right.
Mughal era was like 50 years.
Yeah.
So we have to quantify it in that sense. Right? So we should also talk about history of South India. Such a rich. You have just heard about Sengol, right? From Chola era.
True.
So people should know about Chola dynasty. People should know about Rajendra Chol. People should know about Lachit Borphukan. From Assam, people should know about Ahom people, Rani Gandhi. So my point is, India is very diverse.
Correct.
India is beyond Mughals. India is beyond Gurjars. India is beyond Jats. India is beyond Cholas. All of them together combine to form this beautiful country. So my point is, let the students decide what they want to teach. But when you form a syllabus book,
yes,
so you are left with small number of pages.
True.
Right?
There are just a maximum 200
pages.
You have to cover everything.
Yes. So you have to choose very carefully what kind of examples you want to set. Right? So you must talk about positive things. You must talk about things that will grant, which can fill them with pride.
And
positivity. So that is the entire part. There is no harm in talking about a Dara Shikoh. He was a great person.
Correct.
There was no harm in talking about an Amir Khusro. He was a great person. Right? But talking about people who did not, don't convey a positive message. So that can be avoided. But again, objective answer, yes, removing anything is bad. But proportionating it with people who are not heard of till now is the answer.
I am I'm so amazed with your answer, first of all. Also, personally, with my experience, I can tell you while I was a kid, I'm still a kid by the way, but still, when I used to learn about history chapters, I remember there were topics called demerits. Demerits of some, what do we say?
Acha, okay.
What do we say?
Critical analysis of any policy.
Yeah, I still remember that there were demerits of policies they used to implement on people. And I, as a student, personally felt that this is a ways to, learn about it. I mean, if it hasn't implemented or there were no positive response of the implementation, then there's no point in us, going through the topics, going through the chapters. So, abstracting all of those and keeping something which is more necessary can be a solution.
Yes, see, when you teach us what is itihas, if you translate history in Hindi, itihas matlab things as they happen, right? So our idea is to talk about history as it happened, right? But when you teach the history to a 6-year-old, you must understand that he has a very, very vulnerable mind. He has a very, very, he's very young for any toxic things, right? So you must convey positivity. You must convey that sense of pride in his culture. You must also convey about respect for diversity. So when he reads about a Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, when he reads about a Ashfaq Ullah Khan, when he reads about a Dara Shikoh, He understands that these are my people, this is my country.
And what they have done for our country.
What they have done for our country.
So, and same we have to do in the near future.
Next generations. So we have Jews coming to India, we have Parsis coming to India, we have Muslims coming to India, and there are a lot of positive examples. So they must learn about that. But when he turned 26, he must also learn that what were the perils of all of this.
Yes.
Right? So that is the.
So according to the age it differs, and we need to really clarify all of these for our students. Also, I would like to ask how NEP will prepare rural India for this globalized world.
See, it's a very interesting question. Why? Because so as world is becoming more global, we are faced with a lot of problems like climate change is happening, global warming is happening. Artificial intelligence has have come
taken over.
And people are now afraid about job loss and technological unemployment, right? So in these fragile times, in this tumultuous time, rural India can really be your solution to these problems. How? So from eating clean to breathing clean air to drinking clean water to living around nature to using good herbal products, doing climate smart agriculture, developing green entrepreneurship and green industries. All of this can happen when we actually align ourselves with nature.
And with the roots.
Right? And with the roots. So when we talk about rural India, so what NEP does? NEP is ensuring that a person who is living in village has know-hows about his local culture, his local climate. What are the local skills? What are the local solutions that are available? Second, NEP is preparing you to be multilingual. Just imagine. So what we are doing as an organization, in our rural libraries in Uttar Pradesh, we are training students to learn Tamil, Telugu, Kannada.
Wow, and what age are they?
6 to 10.
Wow.
So can you imagine that a 6-year-old is speaking Tamil or Kannada in Uttar Pradesh? So what is the future after 6 years or 8 years or 10 years? When a company wants to hire them, they will be first priority.
Right? Absolutely.
So NEP is preparing you for multilingualism. NEP is ensuring that your cognitive skills are developed in a very, very great manner.
Right.
When you are, so we say that the future belongs to artificial intelligence and coding. So NEP is saying that we will start teaching you coding from the age of 6.
Makes sense.
Right. And they are ensuring that you learn about problem solving, mathematical puzzles and all that from the age of 6. So they are making you, perfectly aligned towards these global priorities. Right. They are making you global citizen. But the catch is they are making you a global citizen who is rooted in his culture. They are, ensuring that you learn about culture in forms of stories, you watch documentaries, there is a inquiry-based learning, and then they are ensuring that you do a lot of activities.
Also.
Suppose if you want to plant 50 trees, do you know that you will get credits for planting those 50 trees? In your education system, do you know this?
No.
This is NEP. This is the word of NEP.
Wow.
Where your activities will get credit. Your environmentally responsible activities will get credit. If you train women in, say, computer science, right? How to operate a laptop, you will get credit. If you have 20 carpenters in your village, and if you take some training from them, you will get credits. So education system, yes, it's a revolution.
Right.
Education system is now in the new realm, and that is why it is powering every individual. It is democratizing education. It is decentralizing the basic right of education, and it has also refined the definition of education. It's not that if you open a book, it is education.
No.
You're learning about
focusing about learning things are making you realize how learning can turn into commercials for them.
How learning is a great experience and it can give you livelihood.
Right.
So that is how NEP is truly just tapping the potential of rural India, making you a global citizen who is rooted in culture.
So NEP is, creating a standardized living for people,
Yes.
and very well targeted audience, I must say, because they know how people are well rooted in rural areas. They know how, attached they are to their cultures, to their diversity, not like us, forgetting in a day or two. But most importantly, they are making them realize how education can turn a boon, how education can turn a lifestyle, and how education can turn to sustainable development.
Yes. Yes.
So that is something a great opportunity for Indians, because in the coming years they will find a great revolution. And on this note, thank you so much, sir. I got to learn so much from you and hoping to talk to you soon.